Welcome back to my channel. And previous videos we discussed about previous two videos we discussed about what is AWS and uh, what is free tier and what are the services is available in AWS. Then what is the how we need to check the billing and all the stuff in AWS environment. Okay, so before going to jump into the call, okay. Uh, so today what we're going to do, so we'll go ahead and launch the uh, we'll go ahead and launch an EC2 instance. Okay, so before going to launch the EC2 instance, okay, there is a couple of things which you need to know. Okay, what is mean by key pair? So key pair should be required when you when you create a EC2 instance. We need to know what is key pair. Okay, key pair is okay. Let's go ahead and I'll create the key pair. Then you will understand easily what is key pair. Okay, I'm going to create the key pair. Okay, here I'm going to give the key pair name called something called E2. Uh, hyphen 2. There is a two file option format available, two options. One is for the OpenSSH and one is for the Putty. Okay, if you use the PEM1 is basically it will use for the Windows one. I can use for the PEM. See, if I select this one, the Putty as a .ppk version, this version is not going to support by Windows. So if you use this one PEM version, this version is going to support definitely Windows. So I'll go with this one. Okay, even if you select this one, you can generate .ppk as well. Okay, so I'll select this one, just create it. Okay, now YouTube PEM is created. Let's go to the folder where it is available. Okay, let's go ahead and copy this one. uh, Copy this one, go to the desktop, you can place it here. Okay, so now I place it here. YouTube available now I have a PEM keys available. Now what I will do, I'll go ahead and uh, now I have PEM keys available. Now I want to create a EC2 server. Okay, so okay, let's go ahead and create a EC2 instance now. Okay, EC2 is nothing but I already discussed. So EC2 is nothing but a server. Whether that could be Windows server, whether it could be Linux server. Okay, okay, there is an option left hand side. You can go ahead and launch the EC2 instance. Okay, just click on the launch instance. If I scroll down, if you can see, there is all called AMIs. Okay, I will talk about later, little bit later. First need to see how we are going to create the EC2 instance, then we'll understand. So what is mean by AMI here? AMI is nothing but a Amazon mission image where the software is available. Just use the you can see Amazon Linux. This is Amazon Linux available. This is a Red Hat. So AMI is basically nothing but is a software. So you just use the software, use that one and create a server. Okay, so I'm selecting the I'll select, you can select anything. I'll select as a Amazon Linux. You can, there is multiple available. So Ubuntu is available, free tier eligible. You can see free tier eligible, free tier eligible. So there are bunch of it there. You can see Windows free tier available, Windows Microsoft 2009 base available. Okay, there are bunch of available. You can see these are all called AMIs. Okay, same AMI is nothing but a template of the software configuration. So what is the software you can see here. An AMI is a template that contains software configuration. What is software configuration? One is for operating system and application server and applications required. So it's nothing but if you, let's say for how we are creating on, if you are laptop, in the laptop you have Windows server setting. On the Windows servers you can deploy anything. The same way in your AWS account we are going to create one Linux server. On the top of that, once you create a server, you can install anything. You can install Java, you can install Tomcat application, you can install databases, you can install Python, you can install, you can develop anything, doesn't matter. Okay, so that, okay, now I'm going to select the, now I'm going to select the Red Hat one. Okay, if I select the Red Hat one, you can see there are option available. These are called families. Okay, when you select the families, okay, uh, when you select the families, what is mean by family? Family means there are multiple family names available in Amazon. Okay, for this especially for the EC2 and databases, these are the family names. And family names also we can we can people instance types also would be the same. There is a multiple family types available. T2 family available. If you scroll down, you can see T2, C4 available, C5 is available, M5 is available. You can see M5 available. Then I will talk about later this one. What is a family? I will make a separate video to understand more. What is the family? Which one is the? How much you're going to pay? That kind of stuff. I'll come back to you later. Come up with one video. Then if you see that video, mm, you can understand what is instance classes, what is family types. Okay. Okay, I'll, if you can see that is a free tier eligible for 7 to up to 7 to 50 hours for a micro instance each month. Okay, now I'm going to select the T2 micro. Okay, if I select next one. Okay, so n number of instance, how many instance which you want to create? I will go with one at the moment. I don't want, if you select a two instance, it's going to create two servers at the same time. Okay, at the moment initially I'll go with one, then you can understand once you're done. Okay, then you can easily understand what is meant by instance. Okay, here if we select the network VPC, so we just VPC is nothing but just like a private network. Okay, so none of them is going to allow as long as when you're trying to allow, it's nothing but your house. If somebody has a key, then only they can come to the house, otherwise they can't come. Such kind of a private network is called VPC. VPC is nothing but virtual private network. It's only for the private purpose, it's not for the public purpose. Okay, so then we'll talk about later what is mean by VPC and more network stuff in coming classes. Okay, uh, and subnet. Subnet means it I discussed about earlier. So in each region they have multiple availability zones available. Okay, so let's say for example you want to create a particular availability zone, you need to select the availability zone. Each availability zone have a one individual subnet, whether that could be public subnet or it would be private subnet. So when you're creating a VPC, we need to create a subnets in availability zone. Subnet means within the VPC we are going to make a partition. Partition means this availability zone having this much servers, this availability zone having 100 servers. Let's say for example. So that is called a partitioning. So when I'll talk about network stuff. Just understand each available. Just stick with at the moment each availability zone having the one subnet. Whether that could be public subnet, whether it could private subnet. Generally, always we'll use the private subnet only in real world. We don't use the public. Public only we'll use for the web tier purpose, in the front end application. For outside world, we say Google is out. Google.com is the public facing. Okay, I will talk about what is external world, what is internal world. Generally, in the real world, private is. Couple of them will use public also. That is external users, external facing application. Okay. Okay, that will talk. Okay, let's select with the subnet available. I want to select a subnet. You can see subnet is a different subnets available. Each availability zone, each availability zone have a unique subnet. Okay, I'll go with first to US2A, that availability zone. See this much IP address available. That letter. This is come because of the CIDR range, network subnet range. I'll talk about later what is subnet and other things. Okay, if you come down below, there are a lot of it. There were IAM role. Okay, IAM role I'll talk about. Just I'll select the EC role. EC2 role on IAM role is available. So if you want to create any one, you can create it. Okay. I'll talk about little later. So what is mean by IAM role? Okay. Once I want to show you why I'm going with initially EC2 server. Server means everybody can understand easily. On the top of that, I'm going to next to class, next to session, I'm going to talk about what is IAM management. Then you can understand more. Uh, server is everyone knows. So whether that could be Linux or Windows, everyone have idea. That's why I'm going initially with server. Okay, if I scroll down, leave about all the things, leave about all the things, forget about, I'll talk about later. What is all the things, what is all these fields later. I'll talk about little later. Then okay, next go to the storage. Okay, here the when you create a server, the AMI come up with 10 GB. So each AMI, when you select the Red Hat AMI, that is come up with 10 GB size of the root volume, or if you select with CentOS or Ubuntu, it's come up with 8 GB. So uh, if you give 8 GB, I don't think so. There is going to, if you say add target. So if you go go back to previous, go back to previous, uh, go back to previous. So I'll go with the 10 GB. So we can go with any, it doesn't matter. I'll go with 10 GB initially. So if you want to add any extra volume, okay, this is something when you create a, when you buy a laptop, it will come up with a one root file system. This kind of C drive is the basically where is the software and everything is going to install. So once we done it, we are going to partition. We create one separate folder called D drive. The same way in Linux servers also, the root file system would be the different, and application file system would be the different. If you want to create an extra file system, create a new volume. That's command EBS volume. That where we have to give the how much storage. If you want 100 GB, let's say sorry. So if you want to give the 100 GB, just give the 100 GB. Just go ahead and create. Okay, it doesn't matter. If you want, you can go ahead and create. At the moment, I don't want anything. Just leave this one. I'll go with root volume. So if you want to add any extra volume, you can add here. Okay, let's go to the tag. What is mean by tag? Okay, if you go to the tags, then you can easily understand. Okay, my this server is specific to the dev environment. So dev environment. Okay, you can consider dev hyphen tomcat application, whatever it is, or you can keep it anything dev tomcat. If you create one more tag, uh, apps. Okay, this is tomcat app. You can create it some such a way. Okay, you can keep such a way. Okay, that's only for the understanding. Tag is something like a you can easily understanding. This is a web server, this is a database server, this is a dev environment, this is the production environment. So we can easily understand uh, uh, we can easily understand, we can easily identify, not understand, we can easily identify this server related to this environment, this server related to this particular application. We can add n number of things. So basically when you see the server, you can easily understanding, we can easily identify this service related to this particular application. So that is called tagging. Okay, when you create a security group, okay, you can see security group. What is that, the security group? Okay, security group, when you create a server, the firewall means if you want to log into the server. Okay, so if you, let's say for example you want to log into the server for a any let's say for example you want to log into the Linux server. So 22 port has the default port which has to allow. Okay, then only you can log in. Okay, now what happened is I'm not creating anymore at the, if you want you can create, you can keep on name, you can create it now, but I'll go with initially for the default one. I'll create later. Okay, if you see select one, the default one having the multiple ports available. Okay, if you can see 22 port already available for the default. Okay, I'll discuss about little later what security group, then just understand. If you want to enable if you can see the security group, we have these many security groups available, these inside security group, these many available, but 22 would be the main one for us at the moment to connect to log into the server. Okay, if you don't allow the port to the particular security group is nothing but your firewall of the server. If you want to log into server inside the security group, you have to allow the port. Okay, then only you can. Now I'm doing SSH, that's why I'm in with 22 port. Okay, let's go ahead and launch now. Okay, here you have to select the keys, which key we want. Now I'm selecting, I we just created that keys, right? That is called YouTube hyphen 2. So I'm selecting this key now. Okay, let's go ahead and launch the. Okay, if you don't have keys, you can go ahead and create a choose the existing key pair. I have already key pair. That's why I selected as a choose existing IP. If you don't have create new pair, you can go ahead and create. Okay, I don't want to create a new pair again. I have already. I can use the existing. Even if you don't proceed with without key pair also, if you don't have a key pair, you can't log into server. Okay, you need to make sure you have to keep it before. Okay, so select this one, launch the EC2 instance. Okay, when you go to here, you can see my server is creating. You can keep it name anything here. I can keep it as a EC2 one something, EC2 hyphen demo something. You can keep it anything, EC2 hyphen demo, it doesn't matter, you can keep it anything. Okay, so you can see now server is creating. Now I would like to log into this server. How we are going to log into this server? Now we already created the key PEM pair. PEM pair doesn't support for the SSH. Okay, what we need to do? We need to convert these keys into the uh, Putty Gen. By using Putty Gen, the PEM keys is going to we're going to convert into the uh, they're going to convert into the .ppk file. .ppk file is support for the Linux. Okay, the PEM is going to support for the Windows. Okay, if you, why I went to PEM, if you generate the PEM keys, that will support for the Windows, that will, at the same time it will support for the Linux as well. Okay. Now what I'm going to do, I can't directly generate by using pem keys to .ppk. We have a tool called Putty Gen generator. By using tool, we are going to convert these .pem file into the ppk. Now let's see how I'm going to do. Now I just open the Putty Gen generation. Let's load these keys. When you're trying to load the keys, so if you can see all files, if you select here, so I have already. If you select all files, you can see. If you select this one, you can't see that one. If I select all files, okay, I have a YouTube-2 PEM. Okay, I just loaded. You successfully imported the foreign keys into the OpenSH private key. Okay, old film perfect. Okay, you need to use the. Okay, if I say here we have option. So key option, you can keep it anything. I can keep it to. I can keep it. I can keep anything. I can keep it my tech world, SBI Tech World. That's my YouTube channel name. I can keep it any name. So here the password. When you're trying to log into server by using keys, we need to give the password. Okay. So I'm going to give one password here. Okay. Now I'm going to share the there is options available. Now I'm going to share the private key. Okay. If I save it here, okay. Now I'm going to, what is the name which I'm going to give? YouTube hyphen 2. Now I'm going to give the dot ppk format. Why? Because this is a ppk. If you can see automatically when you select the putty private key. Okay. Now let's say save it. Okay. Now I selected the keys. Now I have a, you can see here YouTube iPhone 2. Now we have available. Now what I'm going to do, now I generated successfully. Now I have successfully converted the uh, keys from .ppm to uh, .ppk by using Puttigen tool. Okay. Now let's go ahead and log into the server now. Let, let's go ahead and log into the server. And how we are going to log into server? Take this one. Take this one. Let's find out the where is the public IP. Take the public IP. Okay. Go to the open this one. Putty. Paste it here. Then here there is an option called .sh. If you click on this one, there is a authentication. Okay, you need to click on authentication. There is an option browse. Click on the browse. Go to the select the YouTube's which is just before generate.ppk file. So okay, if I load this one, say open. Okay, s- say yes. Okay, when you say yes, the default user which is come up with any server is the default user for the EC2 instance. EC2 hyphen user, that is a default user. If you use the, you need to understand one thing. If you went with the Ubuntu, you have to use the Ubuntu default user. Okay. If you went to CentOS, default user CentOS. If you use the Red Hat or Amazon Linux, default user in EC2 hyphen user. Okay. If you select enter, it's asking for the password. What is the password which I want to give? Okay. I have a password. See, now I am able to log in server. If you don't give the pass, if you don't mm, give the password while generating the .ppk file, so it won't ask the password. But I always you need to make sure if you lose the key, someone they can easily. For example, if you lose your keys, they can easily log into the server. So if you keep the password, even if you lose your keys also, they can't log in your server without they knowing the password. So my suggestion, always keep with your password. Okay. Now I'm in the server. Now I'm going to the root user. So EC2 is the default user for the any Linux environment, any default user for the any EC2, any Linux environment. Okay. Now I'm in the server. I'm able to do anything, update whatever it is. If I enter hit, so it's asking for the M is the package manager. It's asking for the map. If I don't enter, so I can do everything. Okay. Even I don't want this one. Just let's cancel this one. If you should top the same way how we are working in the Linux indoor, the same way we can work here. Nothing difference. Just only thing, creating a server and login server little bit different when you're working with other environment. When you're working with normal Linux server. Okay. Uh, so even if you can see free hyphen G, there's a how much memory is free to free hyphen M. We'll go with free M. This much free available. Okay, DF hyphen file system. Everything will work. Okay. Even see, you can see anything. You can see cat etc. It is OS release. You can see what is the OS release which I am using. You can see name is Ready Hat Enterprise and 8.3 version which I am using. Okay, uh, that's it. Then how the that's it. We just that's it. How we need to create the server and all the stuff. I hope you guys like my video. Uh, if you like the video, please do subscribe my channel, and if you like it, do like as well. Thank you.